The Squid Game became a worldwide craze very soon. The Netflix Korean drama enthralled viewers with its gripping tale about desperate contestants vying for a large cash reward. The characters go through a lot throughout the series, but filming the show wasn't easy either. Celeb's stream has the rules that the cast of the Squid Game followed while filming. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and turn on notifications to make sure you don't miss anything. Without further ado, let's see the rules that the Squid Game cast had to follow at all times. Keep silent. To keep fans guessing about what might happen in the show, the cast members of Squid Game were required to remain silent about the show no matter what happened. They were not allowed to speak to press members about the show before it aired or any other private production discussions that the showrunners had with them. Cast members were sometimes completely barred from speaking to the press. They were even forbidden from discussing the show with their friends or family at times, regardless of how close they are or how much their friends and relatives pledged not to tell. There was no compromise when they were advised to keep their mouths shut, since even the tiniest information about the program that they thought was meaningless may be read differently and things could go awry. It seemed to have worked because no one knew about the show until it aired. Given how huge and successful the show has become, do you think you could keep silent about it if you were a part of the team or cast? We doubt it. Anyways, let's go on to the next rule. Staying fit. The physical stamina displayed by the actors in Squid Games is remarkable, and what makes it even more impressive is that it's all true. The performers in the series had to be in shape, so when they weren't working hard on set, they had to go to the gym to stay in shape. Everything from fiercely fighting other players to being able to jump far enough during the glass stepping stones, tugging during tug-of-war, or clinging onto the rope as though it went off the edge required a significant level of power and agility. As a result, everyone had to be in peak physical condition and could repeat the astonishing feats on demand. The filming of the hostile Squid Game did not take place daily. Depending on the necessities of the action, the performers had to wake up very early in the morning or start late and work all night. On set, several hours were spent, and each one was valuable, making the actors' long days intense and weary. Not to mention the crew who were the first to arrive and the last to depart. Making Squid Game wasn't that easy, right? Let's see what's more. Know how to play games in real life. Most of you must have noticed how realistic the performers appeared to be when playing various games in Squid Game. This is due to the fact that they had learned how to play the game long before the show was produced. It was a part that required each actor to know and study how to play the games in advance so that the director could easily direct and shoot the various situations. When you saw the cast on film, you could tell that they were really good at what they were doing. This was not a terrible rule because it added realism to the show. This does not imply that they couldn't have pulled off the acting without prior knowledge of the games, rather it was for the show's seamless running. It's amazing to think that when they were acting, it wasn't because they were doing what they already knew, but because they were acting about the sections when they botched up and got shot. Short breaks. With such lengthy hours on set, we would anticipate the cast to take plenty of long breaks to relax and recover. While they had a Netflix budget, time is money, and breaks during filming had to be brief in order to avoid falling behind schedule. Many of the sequences necessitated extensive setup and cleanup. As a result, they had to be very careful about the timing and getting the takes just perfect. There were no breaks, especially for the show's key characters, because Squid began with 456 players in the game and gradually reduced the number as players were removed. While the other performers had already packed their belongings and were on their way home as their shifts came to a close, the attention was brought to the main characters. On set, the principal protagonists continued to put in long hours. No alcohol. Many individuals want to take a drink and let off steam after a long day at work, but not everyone is in the cast of the Squid Game. The Sae-byeok actress is used to the model lifestyle, which includes late nights, loud parties, and plenty of booze, and she enjoys it. The actress was frequently anxious to socialize after work, but her invitations to fellow castmates were usually turned down because the actors had physically, psychologically, and emotionally demanding labor to complete every day. They couldn't afford to be badly affected by anything. Right, it's a bit of a challenge. Let's have a look at the rest of the rules. Confidentiality agreement. When these performers were cast, they had to sign contracts that included a strong confidentiality agreement, which required them to keep their mouths shut and not reveal any secrets about the show, even if they looked small. As we've learned through observing the Squid Game, almost everything we see has a secondary meaning. While the cast may have wanted to share anecdotes from the set while working on such an exciting program, the only people they could talk to about their work were other cast members. The set's secrets had to be kept even from their closest friends and family. Bring your A game. This guideline is one of the most prevalent and important in the art of cinematography, thus there isn't much to say about it. You're expected to provide your best performance at all times as an actor. It's unacceptable to deliver anything less than your very best, and this applies not only to the actors, but also to the technical crew. It doesn't matter to the characters of the Squid Game what was going on behind the scenes or in their personal lives. When it came to providing what the filmmakers intended, the cast members had no excuses. When they arrived on set, they had to leave everything behind and concentrate on the task at hand. They had to put on a good show because outstanding acting is what makes a product worth the buzz and attention. The positive response to Squid Game shows how hard the actors work to bring out the best in themselves. It's safe to assume that the cast adhered to this regulation to the letter. No flinching. There were other scenes in which the actors' genuine anxiety was well captured by the cameras, as in the tumultuous intensity of tug-of-war or the shaking palms of the honeycomb game. However, there were times when the performers had to deal with danger up close and personal. It didn't matter if they were confronting a weapon or if their hearts were beating during the red light, green light. In order to capture what was needed, it was critical for the players not to flinch during intense sequences, no matter how tired or nervous they were. Be mindful of social media posts. While social media can be a useful tool for sharing information and connecting with followers, performers might lose their jobs if they make a mistake. Squid Game actors were prohibited from posting any photos from the set that might give away what was to come in future episodes of the show. This was one of the measures put in place to prevent plots from leaking. As we all know, there are Hawkeye fans out there who are very interested in knowing what the show has in store and spreading the word to their friends and family. As a result, even if Season 2 is approved, fans will not receive any spoilers from the cast members. New accent. Because Sae-byeok's actor is not from the same region as her show's role, she had to be sure to mask her own accent, which was different from what she needed to sound like. The actress had to work with an accent coach before filming to help her sound authentic, and it was something she had to keep an ear out for throughout filming because the wrong accent would have been noticeable to anyone who knew the region, and it would have shattered the illusion of realism we get throughout the show. There's no doubt that the entire team behind Squid Games' absolute commitment was crucial to the show's success. While filming, actors like the one who played Deok-soo struggled with muscle loss and joint pain. The production was not only noteworthy but also intense. All of this is due to the entire team's dedication and ability to adhere to the set of criteria that allow us to produce such a fantastic series. Which regulation do you believe was the most absurd or demanding? Do you believe the cast was subjected to too many rules? Please let us know what you think in the comments section below.